Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today, we're going to take a look at a deck that Asuchini used, a Sparky deck, of course. It is the Sparky God after all. And he used it last season to get to 6,719 trophies in Ultimate Champions League. Asuchini is a really, really good player. And guys, I'm going to continue this series where at the end of the season, I watched these players play live the day before or the final day of the trophy pushing season. So that's exactly what I'm going to do again today. So I want to bring you guys some live gameplay. I'll bring you the wins, I'll bring you the losses, and just see how the top of ladder is. So I'm going to go ahead and do that today. Be sure to let me know what you think of this series, all live battles with pros. I've done it now the second or third time in the last week. You guys gave me feedback that you want to see more live battles, trying to make that happen. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the action. Hey guys, here we are joined by Asuchini. We're going to watch him play top ladder live using his favorite deck in the game. He's been dominating even in CRL with this deck right here, guys. It's not a new deck, but it's still his favorite Sparky deck in the entire game. And I'm going to bring you live matches today. Win or loss, we'll include them all for you guys. And he's in a match right now, so let's see who is first up. Oh, look at this. This is why I love doing these live ladder matches episodes, because we run into other pro players at the top of ladder towards the end of the season, and even if it's not necessarily a brand new deck that we're using, it's always good to see how they handle different matchups. And Ash, what about Lava Loon? I got you covered. It looks like, well, Wen has us covered. Wen, a Brazilian pro, he was the guy who first did the 1.9 cycle deck that I shared last week or the week before on the channel. And you can see that Asuchini actually responds with a Giant and a Skarmy. What he's going to try to do, especially in this matchup, is use the Skarmy to try to bait out big spells from the opponent, or even small spells, just basically trying to bait out a spell early on with that Skarmy, and it paid dividends for him there, able to take that right tower down to 1242 HP. So not a bad start here against Wen. Wow, Wen playing Lava Loon, and Asuchini again going to be able to respond using the Skarmy again as kind of a spell bait, trying to free up space for him to be able to play his Goblin Barrel on the tower, for him to be able to go ahead and use his minion horde on defense, being the big one, and again responding immediately with a Skarmy here and a Giant. So as soon as that Lava Hound comes down, a Skarmy and a Giant come down for Asuchini. He's going to get to the tower here, and boom, just like that, takes it down. Does Wen not have a Zap, or is he just saving his Zap, or does he have arrows? Like, what is his last spell in Wen's deck right now? I figure he probably just decided to tower trade here and save his spell. There's the Zap. He had it in hand, but I guess he didn't want it. He knew he was going to lose the tower either way, because he didn't have the guards ready, and he didn't have the tombstone, because Asuchini used the Goblin Barrel against the tombstone there to take care of it there. So right off the bat there, we take one tower down going into double elixir time, guys, but we got some trouble here. 430 HP left on our right tower, but this is Asuchini's favorite move with the deck, just dropping the Giant and the Skarmy right there in the pocket against the opponent, and it's going to result in a lot of damage. That left tower going all the way down to 1036, and this is probably going to be a 2-tower game, so that was absolutely huge there for Asuchini. He plays the Horde first, he gets the Fireball, excuse me, out of hand from the opponent. He's going to sacrifice this right tower here and probably go ahead with another strong aggressive move in the pocket. Let's see how he plays this. Okay, instead he's going to play his first Sparky of the match here. Not a lot of Sparky action against the Lava Loon deck. You can just rely on, as you've seen, on defense you can use the Minion Horde, the Mega Minion, the spells obviously, and on offense it's going to be a lot of Skarmy and Giant for you guys. And this is really textbook against one of the best players in the world, how to beat a Lava Loon matchup. I don't want to speak too early, but things are looking pretty good here, and just like that we connect with the Goblin Barrel and take the first match in this live match series. That was really, really good there. He played that really perfectly, Asuchini did, and Wen, again, a really, really skilled player. So let's go ahead and see. What I'm going to do is edit out the downtime. Alright guys, so we are back again. Just gonna edit out, no, won't edit out any losses or anything like that. Even if he has, you know, 3 losses, we'll include it all, so at least you guys can see the decks that he's going against and what adjustments he might make, or any difficult situations and how he handles them. But I will edit out the downtime in between, because these matches take these guys sometimes 10, 15, 20 minutes to find, and it would be a really long and boring video if I vamped for that long in between matches. So here we go, guys, against a Hunter. So it looks like well, the guy's name is Royal Hogs. It looks like it might actually not be a Royal Hog deck. It looks like it's going to be a giant miner deck, maybe 3 spell. We know it definitely has at least 1 spell. The poison comes down. Asuchini's forced to use that Skarmy behind that giant there, losing all his skeletons, but doing a little bit of DPS against that giant, but not before that Mega Minion does a ton of damage to his right tower, taking it down to 649. So here comes an interesting push here. He had about a 2/3 health Sparky, and then he supplemented that attack with a beautiful Goblin Barrel, getting all kinds of damage there. I wonder if the Mega Minion was in support, or was it just a cycle? I want to say it was to support that Sparky there, depending on what the opponent threw at him here. So it does look like probably a 2-spell. We don't know if the last card is Log, but I'm thinking a 2-spell giant miner deck. So let's see how he handles this. He's going to actually go ahead and zap that Hunter up. Wanted to force the opponent to use a zap on the tower. That way they didn't have it in hand for his Sparky or his Skarmy there. So that was a really smart zap on Asuchini's part, just kind of identifying that the opponent's zap is actually much more effective than his zap is in this matchup. So here it comes, a Sparky against a giant Mega Minion here, and Prince is the last card. So it is indeed a 2-spell giant miner Prince deck. And this deck just does very, very well, Asuchini's deck, against all beatdown decks there. Kind of a bad luck on that first push, but look at this left-hand push we have going on right now. It looks like we're probably going to sacrifice that right tower, and we reload with 2 Sparkies in the back. So these are the unorthodox plays that I like to keep an eye on, guys, and kind of compare my gameplay to what the pro is doing here. And I wouldn't have necessarily reloaded with another Sparky, but Asuchini's able to Goblin Barrel on the right side there, and now he has another Sparky push coming down the left lane here. A Sparky giant, and he plays the minion horde in the pocket towards the river there. A really interesting play, forcing a poison out of the opponent, but it's not going to be enough. Sparky locks onto the tower, and that's a quick 2-0 in this video. Come from behind victory there. Beautiful Sparky gameplay there by Asuchini. Alright guys, I will come back at you with match number 3. Couldn't have hoped for a better start to this video. Alright guys, here we go into match number 3. This guy's from Big Spin, King of the Hill clan. Seems like Big Spin was doing an event, guys. Let's see how Asuchini plays this one here. Looks like he's going to start out just zap cycling against the opponent's tower again, something that Asuchini normally does. As you can see from the first match against Wen, he did the same thing there, and the opponent looks like they're not going to make a move. Asuchini's like, dude, I know this is on video live, so we'll go ahead and make a play here. So he plays the Mega Minion in the right lane. The opponent responds with a Minions. What else is he going to use here? Just going to go in with a Goblin Barrel. And that's another interesting note about Asuchini's gameplay, guys. I noticed this in CRL as well. Even though it's a Goblin Barrel deck, he is not necessarily going to be starting out with Goblin Barrel as the starting play. Oftentimes he waits a little bit, waits to see what the opponent has. In this case, obviously, he would have rather just used the zap there, it looks like. But either way, it's going to be a Sparky in the right lane, going same lane as that Tombstone. It's going to cause Asuchini to be able to kind of recoup and collect a ton of elixir while he's waiting for that Sparky to get a shot off at every single one of those skeletons. And now it looks like he's going to go ahead and send in the arrows, and this is going to be trouble for the opponent. Okay, guards are in hand there, but notice how he used the Skarmy almost to tank for that Sparky, guys. It's something that you guys you can definitely do as well. If you don't have Giant in hand, keep in mind that maybe one of the weaknesses of this deck is the Giant is really the only card that you have as a tanky card, a distraction card with a lot of hit points. You're obviously not going to be using Sparky in that manner. So here comes a Lava Hound. Okay, another Lava Loon deck. Man, Lavaloon is weird, right? It doesn't feel like it's meta, but it definitely is. We see a lot of it. Nice zap there. We see a lot of it in the tournaments that I host on a daily basis, and yeah, I don't know. I think that Lavaloon's still pretty strong, guys. What about you? I see a lot of people asking for buffs. I don't think it necessarily does need a buff. So there goes the minion horde, and then the mega minion, but this is going to be real big trouble here, guys. You know, the opponent here was ready with that fireball, and then sent in the minions as well, and was able to answer Asuchini's both the minion horde and also the mega minion there. That's not what he wanted to have happen there. There's down to 1024 HP on the right tower. The problem is we don't have a big spell in this deck, so Asuchini's gonna go kind of all in here in the right lane. Probably gonna send in, there it is, a Goblin Barrel as well. A mega minion comes down, zap comes down from the opponent as well. That one goblin doing all kinds of damage there, but we need one swing of the giant and we're not gonna get it. So that is the first loss here for Asuchini in this live video. Arrows comes in, well, I don't want to call it too early, but with 3 seconds left, unless this Goblin Barrel gets a lot of damage. Ooh, that was close, guys. That was close, and the sad face comes in from Asuchini. Let's go ahead and do another live match, guys. Right, guys, so the fourth match, here we are, and we're about to go live against, another really good opponent, a top ladder player, Red Bull. Let's see what Red Bull is running now. I know he used to run a lot of giant decks, and 3 of the 4 matches here, we're seeing Asuchini start out with a zap. So a Royal Ghost, he plays Sparky into the Royal Ghost. Interesting, and then the opponent, Red Bull, like we called it, playing a beatdown deck. So the Sparky is going to go ahead and one-shot that Royal Ghost and then stay alive for that giant. Interesting situation here. Asuchini with a really good start. Red Bull's going to go ahead and drop that Prince in the back, a Mega Minion, not on the Sparky, but on our giant. And Sparky's going to go ahead and take care of that giant and hopefully take care of this Prince as well. We have Skarmy in hand. Is he going to use it? No, it looks like he's not going to use that Skarmy, and that was unfortunate. The zap coming down, keeping that Prince alive, but now he's going to go ahead and use the Skarmy. Wanted to see if he was able to defend without using it there first. A good decision there by Asuchini. So here he comes again. Asuchini, by the way, recently swept in CRL using 2 of the 3 matches in King of the Hill. He swept the whole team. I forgot who he was facing. Oh, man, I'm going to kill... Oh, jeez. I'm going to remember as soon as I stop recording, right? Usually how it happens. But either way, he swept an entire team, and 2 of those 3 matches was with this Sparky deck. So certainly CRL viable, tournament level standard viable, and of course ladder viable as well. So a good kite there with the giant, again, just like I talked about previously, guys. Sometimes you're going to have to use your giant in that method because you don't have that tankage. You don't have that ice golem or anything else like that to kite in this deck. So here, luckily, the Mega Minion goes in front of the giant. We're going to drop that beautiful Skarmy there. It gets about a third damage off of that giant before the zap comes down for the opponent. So an interesting situation here. Obviously, not enough elixir to play the Horde or the Sparky there, so he's going to take a ton of damage on this right tower. One little Larry left alive, kind of chipping away at that giant, but this is going to be a big push here for Asuchini. He's going to have to get a lot of damage down off that tower to try to even things up here, but this is definitely a win-in-one push type deck, guys. So just because he's down doesn't mean necessarily he's lost this match. So let's see, here comes the Goblin Barrel in for Asuchini. He's going to do a little bit more chip damage. Meanwhile, he has a Prince and a Royal Ghost kind of firing away on his giant. He's going to reload with a second Sparky. The second time that we've seen him do that here, using the second Sparky in the back and then saving the giant for the front. A 2 Sparky push! A 2 Sparky push! Let's see. Giant comes down, and there it is. That 1 Sparky with a sliver of HP left is going to get a hit. And 2, oh my god, this is absolutely brutal. 2 Sparkies absolutely annihilate that giant. And man, that was an intense ending of that match, guys. I wish this was the first match because it was hype. Hope you guys enjoyed this live ladder video. Huge shout out to my man Asuchini again for coming on the channel and doing this. It's not easy for pros to agree to, yeah, I'll show it. You just record me live, all the wins, all the losses, I don't care. So again, huge shout out to my man Asuchini. Check out his player stats and profile thanks to statsroyale.com. Check out his Twitter as well, and I'll include any other social media and whatever I can find for Asuchini in the description below, along with a deck link as always, guys. Again, give me feedback on this series. If you enjoy it, please let me know. Guys, huge shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out his information as well. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.